So I guess you heard Gwyneth Paltrow won her ski crash case. It became, also a national pop culture fixation. The Utah jury began deliberating yesterday, quickly reached a verdict. The jury decided Gwyneth was not responsible for the 2016 ski collision that left Terry Sanderson with broken ribs. He's 76 years old. He sued the actress and Goop founder for $300,000 in damages, claiming that she skied out of control. She crashed into him, leaving him with broken ribs and a lifelong brain damage. Gwyneth countersued for a symbolic $1 plus her attorney fees. She has been rewarded that $1 that she requested. Joining me right now with more on the case, trial attorney Cary London. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Rosanna.
So, Cary, you have your own law firm. You don't have anything to do with Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
No.
Where's your law firm?
We're located at 1 State Street in Lower Manhattan.
Very nice. Okay, so let's talk about Gwyneth. Did you think she was going to win?
Yes, I did, Rosanna.
Why?
Because it was a battle of the experts. And in this situation, Gwyneth hired an expert with a PhD in biochemistry. Specifically, his thesis was on skiing. The defendant, Mr. Sanderson, just hired a biochemist. And he did not have any specialization in skiing or sports in particular. So if you're looking at the way the experts testified, Gwyneth's expert was a better expert for this case, and his testimony matched up with Gwyneth's testimony more than the Sanderson's expert matched up with his.
So the burden of proof was pretty easy to see, you're saying? Because I just dipped in, dipped out. I was looking at the clothes, you know what I mean?
Yes, and I actually think Gwyneth had one amazing outfit. That black ensemble was fantastic. She looked like she could be teaching a dark magic course at Harry Potter, but it was a good outfit.
But let's talk about that as an attorney, right? When you go in there with your client, do you advise them on how to dress?
Absolutely. I had a client wanting to go to trial wearing a man bun one time, and I said, look, that might be your personal decision, but these are 12 jurors. That was a criminal case. This is a civil case. This would have been 8 jurors looking at you, dissecting you, and judging you. We don't want them to judge you negatively if one of them doesn't like man buns. No man buns. If you're wearing glasses, I want contacts. No,
really?
No flat shoes for women taking the stand.
And nothing too flashy, right? Because if you notice, Gwyneth was all kind of in neutral or black colors, nothing that screamed TV news, red, you know what I mean?
All neutral except for her jewelry, which could have been purchased on her website, which I thought was very telling of her intentions.
So the other thing that I was worried about this trial, because I felt like when she got up there, she was carrying I don't know if it was Pellegrino bottle. She was definitely, with the water, she was fancy water bottle.
She was given special accommodations. Other plaintiffs or defendants would not have been given. The rules of the court say you have to have a clear cup with a clear liquid in it if you're on the stand.
Really?
And Gwyneth was allowed to take a Pellegrino bottle.
Interesting. But obviously it didn't backfire for her.
No, it didn't backfire.
Now, talk to me about some text messages that were found, because I was trying to understand the text messages and whether it was good for Gwyneth or bad for Gwyneth.
So it was very interesting, that point, because Sanderson actually had a group text message in a meetup.com website, and Court TV posted the link, and her lawyers were not able to get into it. A random person, a sleuth, froze the TV, wrote down the long URL, and was able to crack in and get the text messages and send them to Gwyneth's legal team, which was very helpful because it showed he knew she was a celebrity. It showed he knew it was Gwyneth Paltrow, and his intentions were to have his 15 minutes of fame. I really think it did.
Really? But did it show who bumped into who?
No, there was missing GoPro footage that was never found.
Yeah, that's suspect, right?
Very suspect.
Yeah. And then the other thing was he had pictures of himself all over the world.
He was trying to claim he had a TBI, traumatic brain injury, that his cognitive abilities had been seriously diminished. But he was 73, traveling the world, still skiing, going to Machu Picchu, going to Peru, going to these crazy places that I'm sure the jurors only dreamed of going. And he's asking for $300,000 when the accident was actually his fault.
Interesting. A lot of memes came out of this case. The one where she's on the stand and she talks about, how basically this affected her life and her vacation. Do we have that, Alyssa? Can we play that? Let's see if we have it.
Is it true that you feel it's unfair that Mr. Sanderson has brought this case against you?
I do.
Okay. And he has deterred you from enjoying the rest of what was a very expensive vacation?
Well, I lost half a day of skiing.
That is all I'm using now. Cary, whenever like something just doesn't work out, I'm going to lose a half day of skiing. Like, is that going to be part of the vernacular, do you think?
It might be, but the reason she said that was because Gwyneth grew up skiing with her father, and it was very important to her, and they would have hot chocolate, and they would have lunch, and they would really bond.
Oh, did I miss that part?
And she wanted to do that with Apple and Moses, and what she was trying to explain was she missed in her busy life, in her busy, hectic schedule, a half a day of serious bonding with her children that she's going to forever remember as missing. No, I don't think it was the biggest deal in the world, but I do understand the emotional connection she had to that half day.
Okay, you put it in perspective more than she did, I think.
Well, I might be a better lawyer.
I mean, you might be. The other thing that went crazy viral yesterday was, I think as she was leaving the courtroom, she whispered something into Mr. Sanderson's ear. Did you see that? I think we have that video. So did you hear what she said? Here we go. She's up. Wait, don't leave yet. Here we go. Up.
She said, "I wish you well."
Really?
And he said, I believe, yes, thanks, dear, afterwards.
He said, thanks, dear? Interesting.
That's what we were told. See, I spoke about this with my wife. I thought it was a classy move on the part of Gwyneth because defendants and plaintiffs do not usually speak to each other before, after, or during the trial. It's very, very just confrontational. I thought it was classy. My wife took the other side.
What'd she say? She thought it was a power move, right?
She thought it was a Exactly.
That's what I thought. It was a power move.
Smart women think alike.
Yeah.
She thought it was a power move just to flex that she's the celebrity, this is her, and it was a little cocky. I didn't take that away.
I know.
But I could see how other people
She
did.
didn't say, see you on the slopes, buddy. That's what I would have said. You know, it would have been the Brooklyn in me.
That would have been better.
All right. Cary London, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your perspective with us this morning. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
Shulman-Hill.com. We do personal injury, civil rights, and workers' compensation. The best trial lawyers in New York. Thank you.
Look at you coming on. All right. Nice to meet you. Listen, we wanted to hear from you. So do you agree with the verdict in the Gwyneth Paltrow case? We have an Insta poll. It's live right now on our homepage. Head over to fox5ny.com. Still time to cast your vote. Most people believe yes. They agree that Gwyneth should have won this case. There you go. Everybody's in sync this morning, Cary. Good to know.